It's Pioneer Preview Week with a lot more from the other leagues. This episode of the Indy Ball and Ryan podcast. We're back. Episode 376 of the Indy Ball and Ryan podcast, the show that endorses notable Frontier League Deputy Commissioner, not Steve Tasler.
The other guy?
Yeah, the other one. I forget what his name is.
Someday we'll know.
Anyway. I know he's not Steve Tasler, though. That's all I do know.
Yeah, it's not the famous one.
No, maybe his name is like Mac or something. I don't know. I know he's got a busted haircut.
Jesus, keep me out of that conversation. Oh, my God.
But, yeah, so we're back. We got Atlantic League discussion, Frontier League discussion, American Association discussion, and a Pioneer League preview, which is really just going to be Ryan telling you about these teams. Because I got to be honest with you, I don't know really any of these guys, and I'm going to put about as much effort into learning these teams as the Pioneer League did to keeping baseball in Colorado.
It's really, it really was the one where it's the security guard on the soccer field. Yeah. Everyone's rushing and he's just standing there with his arms out.
Stop. Don't. Stop.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I think this is a Fugazi team, aren't they?
Oh, man. I'm glad we didn't just give them flowers last week. That feels good. Not that I'm rooting for on their downfall or anything, but like, it does feel good to be like, beware.
They came in the DMs. I'm rooting for it.
Oh, really? I was
back when I said they could be bad, and I didn't back off of that, and I'm so happy I didn't.
Yeah, nah, man. Like, I did have one Lancaster fan in my DMs. Like, yeah, I wish I had tweeted it. I wish I had tweeted it when we talked about it last week when they had the winning streak going and been like, "Do not trust this win streak," because I could have piggybacked it, like just added the tweet from what was it this morning about them getting absolutely smoked the first two games playing real teams again.
They have not looked good against Southern Maryland. That much I will 100% agree with you in lockstep here. You mentioned most of their wins are coming against, the cupcakes, mainly Staten Island. But when they play teams of similar caliber, it just falls off the map here. I mean, it's High Point Staten Island propping them up. And what are we looking at after this series here? Oh, they just list some random York game on top. That was throwing me for a loop. But no, they get to host Long Island for a little bit, and then they go to Gastonia for a while, and then they get York for a while. Oh, yeah.
Lancaster it's getting real quick, buddy. And that York series, I believe, is going to be for the division lead. Just spicy. Like, Hagerstown's in there. Like, I mean, so is Long Island, honestly. Long Island has kind of strung together some things, but I mean, I think the real battle there is, can York, they've gotten healthy. They're starting to get a little momentum. Can they just start being the teams, above them, chip away, bury them real quick and run away with the first half, and then they can line it up again for the second. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It could potentially be a good division race if they don't do that. I think that they're the only team that can really ruin the sort of 4-team race we have going on here. Though it's just going to come down to who plays Staten Island the most, I fear.
For some reason, I'm looking around in Lancaster and wondering for whom that bell is tolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say to the North Division point, though. If Hagerstown can figure themselves out again, I think they maybe can make a little bit of a run. I also can't entirely rule out Long Island, but they've just been very uninspired so far, so I'm not really considering them in there. But yeah, I would say Hagerstown still has some potential to do a little something. They're 2 games back after a little bit of a rough patch, and they're still right in the same range as everybody else is among that challenger class.
I guess that's fair to say. I'm just looking at what Staten Island has the rest of the way until the end of the half. You got York for 3 to end it. You got Long Island for 6 before that. They have Long Island plays them 12 times down the stretch here.
That's going to help them out a lot.
The Ducks might make a run, man. Yeesh.
I will say this much. If they can survive the York series, going back to my Hagerstown point, they get Lexington for 6, Staten Island for 6, Charleston for 6, Lexington for 6 again, And then they look like they wrap up with a bit of Lancaster and Long Island. So that's not exactly a tough slate for them either.
Bro, if it weren't for Charleston, the other last place team,
yeah.
Staten Island would be 2-25. Lord.
Do they play them again?
No, I think that's it.
Jeez.
I know. Wait, I mean, while we're talking schedule, can I mention the thing I mentioned on Twitter today about Gastonia?
Go for it.
Oh my God, man. So as we sit here, Gastonia trails Southern Maryland by 2 games in the South Division, right? And they have, quick math says, 30 games left, just about 30 games to play in the first half. Southern Maryland, all their games left in the first half are High Point, Long Island, and York after like 3 games against Staten Island. So 3 games against Staten Island and then High Point, Long Island, and York the rest of the way for the first half for Southern Maryland. Meanwhile, Gastonia's entire rest of the first half is Lexington, Charleston, Lancaster, and Staten Island.
That's a lot of bad teams.
Dude, I mean, they don't, they have, I think I did the math that in their next, I think 53 games, 47 of them are Lexington, Charleston, Lancaster, Staten Island. The only exception is 6 games against Hagerstown, who is in themselves kind of a mixed bag right now. They have 3 against Charleston, 6 against Lancaster, 6 against Lexington, 6 against Staten Island, 6 more against Lancaster, 6 more against Lexington, Hagerstown series, and then 6 against Lexington, 6 against Charleston. And then finally they have Hagerstown again, and then Southern Maryland. Like, good God. Oh, okay.
Like, here's the thing. I don't necessarily think that Southern Maryland is out for that. I think High Point's a bad team, so I think that gives them a break. But yeah, right. I think the disparity is going to make this a tough one.
They did struggle with Southern Maryland, or with a High Point the first time they played them. The Southern Maryland team did, but we'll see. That was kind of a weird series. Yeah, I tweeted also. I was like, there's a legit chance that Gastonia goes through those next 52 games and wins 38 of them, which would mean they're 57-27. Like, and I think they're the favorite for the last of their 30 games in the first half. I think they're probably the favorite in every game.
Like, I'll give them credit for winning the half if that happens, but that makes them a paper tiger all the way through if they're not playing anybody.
Yeah, but also it does sort of raise the question of like, I mean, is anybody playing anybody? Because I'm like, all right, so what are the tough teams? So what are the teams that will give you credit for beating at this point? If you're Gastonia, so you can't beat yourselves. Southern Maryland.
Yeah.
The second best record is Lancaster, but we've already said that they're just being Staten Island a bunch. I mean, I guess Long Island, we have to give it. York will give it. So it's 3, and they're all in the...
Mostly in the north. I'd give Hagerstown credit.
Hagerstown is fair, yes. So 4 of them. Yeah, it's tough, man. Pretty
much if you have a positive run differential and aren't Lancaster, that you get credit for it.
Mm-hmm. Really, we should be keeping a separate tally. Like, what's your run differential without Staten Island? That is really the stat we should be tracking. Because I feel like that's kind of the line.
I assume we're taking out runs against them too?
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, that's the Atlantic League overall as a whole right now. The North is the interesting division. The South is a 2-horse race. Some would describe a 2-horse race as a trench fight, but not us.
I would not go that far for sure.
You could call the North a trench fight. That'd be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to say, the South is a 2-horse race between Southern Maryland and Gastonia. I don't think High Point's out of it. And by that, I mean, I think High Point is going to be competitively in the conversation for the second half. I just don't think that High Point's going to be able to make up the 5 games they were behind Gastonia, 7 behind Southern Maryland. Well, also Gastonia has the schedule they have. I mean, because Gastonia's won 11 in a row. And, you know, I just think they've even played some quality teams in that 11. I mean, compared to at least what they've got coming. Yeah, I mean, no, really not. They beat Long Island for a couple, and then it was Charleston and Lexington. God, how demeaning is a 6-game sweep? Good God.
All right. For the sake of keeping things moving, I'm going to move us on to the frontier because we do have 2 other leagues plus a preview. So keeping it moving, going frontier now. I don't even want to look at the Atlantic East because that is a mess. I think there's a lot of Fugazi teams in there.
Yep.
I don't believe in really any of them at this point. That may change, but as of right now, I don't believe in them. So we're going to move from them.
Whole Atlantic division North would be 3rd or worse in the Atlantic North,
which is actually somewhat interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because Quebec's being Quebec again.
Mm-hmm.
Ottawa hitting a little bit of a rough patch, but seemingly getting back together. They are very much in a playoff spot right now, very much earning it. And then the rest of that division is kind of trying to see who's the least bad.
There's a lot of that going on. Yeah, man. The Greg Taggart show is not faring as well this season.
Damn good thing they locked up to an extension last year.
It was a bold move. You might want to see what his retention rates look like. Anyway.
3 more years. 3 more years. 3 more years through 28.
Man, it is. Yeah, you can't be having that going on.
That means they can't even really can them if they really wanted to. You can't have dead money like that for that long.
No, yeah, they're in that now. So
they're locked in for at least this year and next year minimum.
Whole squad running polls, baby. Where do we begin here? What do you have in mind? I was kind of following you into this conversation.
Yeah, I'm fine going Tri-City because that is absolutely a conversation I want to have.
Boy. Yeah.
Here's on one hand, the more optimistic outlook here. I'm going to look at the schedule to make sure I'm not making this up. The more optimistic outlook is they have played some teams that could be perceived as better-ish. New Jersey is better-ish. Quebec is good. And then there's some other teams that are all generally in their range. Sussex would be in their range. The Rivers would be in their range. Mississippi's kind of hard to say. And they haven't really gotten to play a lot of the bottom feeders yet. You could say once they get to play the rest of the teams in their range, which is bottom feeders, then they'll start to level off a bit. And Mississippi's good-ish. They're 8-10.
There's just it doesn't feel like a Frontier League quality team out in the modern Frontier League. Like, and by that I mean like Austin Dill is holding his own, but Austin Dill has 7 strikeouts in almost 18 innings. Gino Sabatini, like he's getting hit and he's not striking anybody out. You continue looking. I mean, Barreto isn't really striking anybody out. Mason Martinez isn't really striking. That's 4 of their top 5 guys in innings pitched, and they're striking out like less than a guy every 2 innings, essentially. Mm-hmm. It's just not super competitive. It's giving too many guys in a league with good offensive talent. It's giving them too much opportunity to put bat to ball.
I mean, I'm also looking at guys that have 40 or more plate appearances. I'm seeing like maybe 3 guys that can hit.
Yeah.
Which I think is the bigger problem here. I mean, other teams aren't pitching well, but they're out hitting their problems enough to stay around. I mean, you got guys that just aren't getting on base. Really, they're not hitting power. They're striking out a lot. I mean, even a guy that we've liked in the past, Indy Ball vet at this point, Ian Walters, striking out more than he's walking. He's probably leading the team in walks at 14. Is leading the team at 14. And he's not generating the power we could see it sometimes from him. I mean, there's plenty of guys here that are serviceable-ish, but again, a lot of times you're building with serviceable guys. There's 2 or 3 pieces in that lineup that are more than to a star player.
Yes, I agree. And I'm just trying to take a look at what their lineup has looked like the last couple nights, because I've had a couple questions about that too. It just feels weird. Some of the decisions we're seeing, there's a box. Oh, take tonight, whatever. Yeah, like, all right, Reinish did get the start DH. That makes sense. Was he getting it yesterday? Like the last couple of days, I feel like he wasn't. He's just been like Jake Reinish has been kind of their best hitter. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not in a fluky way. Like, he hit really well for Tri-State last year. He's been competitive. He's been putting up good at bats for a few seasons now. And he's just been like, and maybe he's been hurt, but he's just not consistently being put in the lineup. I'm kind of like, hey man, no one's hitting. You might want to let that guy swing it. Like, even if you think he's a fraud, he's hot right now. So you kind of got to let the kid swing. It's been a lot of weird decision making in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? There's some.
I still think there's not many pieces to really work with. I do agree. If they're playing well now, play them. You have 4 wins. You need to get as many as you can. Yeah. But I just don't think there's too much to really work with here.
Right, because and again, the division's already starting to get away from you. They're down how many games at this point in their division? They are down 8 games behind the leader. They're 6.5 behind second place. I'm honest, like, if you're not planning on sweeping either one of those teams down the line, which you're going to have a hard time doing with Quebec and Ottawa, you're going to have a difficult time making up the week of action that you need in quick math, 80 games. I mean, yes, it's a lot of time, but also you're not battling with, the 2 teams that are relevant to catch, Quebec and Ottawa, are legitimate teams.
Yeah.
So you got to turn around, stop the bleeding, and make that happen.
I mean, I would only counter with this. If you're going to assume, okay, Quebec's going to win the thing, they're going to get the playoff spot that way. And then whatever spot's going to the Atlantic. If we are to assume that second wild card spot that will be open is it's kind of up for grabs here because Ottawa's going to get the other one, the first one. I mean, in theory, you just have to be better than the second best Atlantic team.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point is New Jersey at 9-6. So really, it's not the same amount of games you can make up.
Which Tri-State could do. I mean, I could easily see Tri-State ripping like 5 or 6 wins off in a week against New Jersey and just do it that way. But
it's just it becomes a little bit more difficult now because now you have to go through Jersey. You have to assume Down East doesn't, improve. You have to assume that Sussex stays bad. And then you also have to assume that you are better than Three Rivers and Brockton, which you have failed to prove thus far. Mm-hmm. Now, all of that can be true, but, you need more than 87 runs through 16 games.
That's a fair point. I just want to see there we go. Sorry, I'm still struggling with the score a little bit.
Damn, Argentinians.
I don't know. I feel like maybe, they've had some weird rain situations. Like, by the way, am I the only one who eyed what happened this weekend with some suspicion that Brockton series with a couple of rainouts there?
How so?
Friday. So they play on Friday. They lose to Brockton. That made it 1, 2, 3. They made like 6 out of 8 they lost, or 8 out of 9, something like that. Like that was where it's like, hey guys, this is tough. Then, so they have 2 more. They have a Saturday and Sunday against Brockton, and they have rain for both. They get rained out on both. And like, I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing you couldn't get either in. That's all.
Weren't they in Three Rivers?
They were yes, I believe so. Yep.
So the whole province was covered in rain this past weekend.
I mean, so were a lot of places, but like people managed to get at least 1 game in.
New York lost both big games.
I'm just saying I'm not saying they.
Wait a minute, no, they weren't in Three Rivers then.
They were.
Because New York was hosting Three Rivers and they lost.
No. They were in Tri-City.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you asked if they were in Tri-City. Yeah, they were in Tri-City. I just was like, because then the next game they had to do a Monday game in Mississippi where they flew and then got a bus. And I'm like, you're struggling. Your team needs pitching. You just gave up 11 to Brockton. I have a tough time feeling like you really gave it your all instead of just enjoying 2 days off before a flight and a bus to Mississippi. and maybe trying to bolster the squad a little bit in the meantime.
I mean,
that's all
I
I'm
see where you're coming from, but at the same point in time, I don't think it's that deep. I think it actually just rained a shit ton, because it did rain a shit ton.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I know Sunday there were a lot of rainouts.
And pretty much everything around here got rained out on Saturday too.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Just weird. Just felt weird. Just felt fortuitous.
I feel like you're looking for things where there isn't anything.
I think there's a possibility. That's all. Don't they have turf up there?
Not in Albany.
No, it's Rockland who put it. They're New York that put it in the turf. That's right.
Yeah.
Can keep them straight.
Yeah, and even they got rained out, so
I guess even the Pecos League was rained out in California, so maybe.
Ain't that odd? Frontier League, just wrapping that up real quick. Schaumburg's still doing a thing. A little bit more in the West next week.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out the Central real quick before we move on.
Yes,
everybody with a winning record is wild. Like
fun.
Erie minus 21, up 2 games. Love that from them. And I will be skeptical of Washington until they do something in the postseason. But Evansville, good for them. They're hanging in there. They're winning at home a lot.
Yeah, 10-2 at home. Fun.
Yeah. We're having alive. Yeah.
Fun. And by the way, they're not beating nobody. It's like they're beating Windy City and Gateway. Like Washington. Like Windy City was rolling there for a minute. Gateway, and then they ran to Evansville. What I'm saying is they're not beating Tri-City, for instance. You know what I mean?
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like a team that can't buy one. They're actually being at least competitive ball clubs, and they're sweeping them. It's not like they're taking 2 out of 3. What was the other I was going to shout out real quick? Cause there has been some, man, that Central Division, if it stays like this, look, stretch. That's going to be fun. But those are 4 teams I love watching get after each other, man. That could be a hell of a playoff race. Evansville, I was just going to mention, Ben Petschke has been really impressive. I watched his outing the other day, and I think Landon Williman actually looked really good too. I was like, okay. Like the Evansville pitching staff getting out there and doing the damn thing. Fun. And just the entirety of Florence being 500 is like, damn boys, we're really doing the thing. And multiple guys with normal ERAs in Florence. What?
Toby Hall works in mysterious ways.
All I ask. Toby Hall, listen, never doubt a former MLB catcher, man. Those guys they got devil magic, man. It comes from all the CTE.
That's not real. That's Dana White. It's not real.
CTE ain't real. Brendan Bobo continues to deliver on the name, by the way. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just funny. 20 strikeouts, 6 homers, 6 walks, fun energy. Keep it up.
Let's see. Last league to talk about for the week before we go to the preview, American Association. I am having a hard time really getting consistent thoughts on them. I feel
it's chaos right now.
Yeah, it's still very early on. Everyone's trying to clear themselves from the pack. I will say Gary doing a good job so far.
The boys.
Really keeping pace.
Chicago, watch your ass.
Chicago's the Stephen Lacey show right now, and anything outside of that would be it.
And I would even argue it's impressive, but not so impressive that I'd write about it. You can cut that. There's just so much weird stuff happening in the league. I mean, I'll own it. Want me to own something? Last episode, I do believe we filleted Fargo Moorhead, who since then got dog walked for 5 straight by Cleveland and Kane County. Oops. Then they won 1 and they got swept by Lake Country by a total score of 39-8.
In total fairness, the 20 runs they allowed tonight were not helping that cause.
I mean, look. If it wasn't for her face, she'd be a beauty. You know what I mean? It's tough. Can I diagnose this real quick? Let's
Go
just take
for
a
it.
quick
Yeah.
trip because I think it's a fascinating situation. Jake Jelly, 7 games, went 7 for 28 with 2 home runs. Why does he get shipped? You know what I mean? Like, I finally found it on the damn site. Went back in time far enough to find Jake Jelly stats. Jake is 25. He's into age 25 season, right? To keep track, he was a 250 hitter for 30 games with Fargo last year. About the same with Ottawa for 18 games. Went to Boise, was a terrorist offensively.
As
And,
many are.
okay, maybe, all right, it's the Pioneer League. Sure. Okay, that's fine. But let's keep in mind the fact that he then went back to the American Association again as a guy who has not fully gotten situated in a league outside the Pioneer League, was still hitting 250, keeping his pace. So it seems like that's his starting point to go up. Like, and by the way, Boise is one of the, we can argue about the statistics there. Boise is an interesting environment to hit in. I don't think it's as hitter friendly as people think, but it just drives me crazy because I'm like, Fargo, what are we doing? And I would have loved to know more. Anyway, I'm back. Point is, I don't know what the hell Fargo's doing. They're completely falling apart after the hot start they've had. And maybe they're dead now. Beyond that, have you noticed anything else? Sioux Falls is very, very good. And
I know Cleburne could be bad too.
Cleburne, yeah, it's not going well because they started to hit back against Fargo, and we're like, oh, here they go. Cleburne's back. And then Fargo just, as I said, just got dog walked, and it was like, oh, well, maybe those wins weren't that impressive. And then Cleburne just went and got smacked in the mouth multiple games in a row. I was like, well, okay, maybe Cleburne and Fargo both suck then. How fun. Because you can't also just get beat up by Chicago. Embarrassing. Not that good a team. Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
I think Chicago,
I don't know what to make of any of it.
I mean,
the point here is Gary's good now, and I do declare it's for legitimate. I cannot declare any team legitimate other than Gary legitimate. The scale on what is legit for Gary is different. I will not specify.
Like, they get
It's
extra
on
time on their
vibes.
test.
It's on vibes. They did have extra time on their test. They had a tough childhood. Okay. Things for Gary are difficult at home. Okay. And Gary's still putting the work in and competing and frankly, not doing much worse than the Chicago Dogs, who seem to just have every benefit in the world. So I don't know what to do for them. Or the Milwaukee Milkmen, who also have multiple benefits, but also are hated by their own community. I have a theory. It's a pet theory. I don't have any hard facts on it because, frankly, I just have not had the work ethic to snoop around what's going on with the Milwaukee Milkmen. Sorry. I just don't have it in me right now. But, let me deal with the intern in Chicago situation first. Don't go from there. Lake Country, by the way, they might be legit. They're hard to tell, though. Again, hard to tell because they have all those wins where you're like, what do you make
Well, see, that's the problem. We're too early on. Like, we're at that perfect point where, like, we're an eighth of the way into the season.
It's where we'll
still
be in
too
5
early.
days in the Pioneer League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Lake Country take 2 or 3 against Gary, and we're like, oh, Gary maybe is bad. And they lost. They split with Sioux Falls, and we're like, okay, not sure what to make of this. Lost 2 out of 3 to Kansas City, and we're like, oh, not great. And then they swept Fargo, and we're like, yeah, but what does that even mean at this point?
Because from
What does
4
it mean?
series in, you can't tell anything. You gotta wait a little bit longer here. I feel like once we get like another 2 or 3 series in the end of next week, then we'll start to have a better picture on all this. But realistically, right now, outside of like Sioux Falls being really nice, Kane looking good, I haven't been go that far on Kane yet.
We're
Now, although
saying
they're staying above water.
for baseball, it's important to play a large sample size before you make decisions.
Yeah.
Wow. One might think a Cy Young season based off of about 10 starts might be less legit. Wouldn't that be crazy if that happened?
It would
Anyway.
never happen, though. I mean, imagine just handing that out and then branding that about so that some sort of justification for other horse shit.
Yeah, just keep bringing it up nonstop. Imagine getting a Cy Young off 73 innings of work. That'd be crazy.
Damn, I bet a reliever could get on board at that point.
Craziness. Anyway, I don't even know who we're talking about.
We might as well be in a McLaren with how fast we're going through all these leagues. I'll go to the preview. It's 1:15 in the morning, and I want to try to go to sleep before 2.
Lame.
So here's how this Pioneer preview is going to work, right?
Yeah.
We all know, between the two of us, Ryan's the only one that knows anything about the Pioneer League. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about him. I looked through the teams. I wrote down names that seemed vaguely familiar or kind of fun. So I'll name a team. Ryan will give you valuable information.
Maybe.
I will occasionally chime in with, how about this guy? And then
now, maybe I'll know something. If I'm honest, I might not, but we're going to do our best.
Yeah, then Ryan will give you some information on him. And then we'll move on to the next team. And we'll do that until we run out of teams.
Sure. Why not? What's going to happen? Everything?
Nothing? Who's to say? Let's find out. Man, I bet those 5 Pioneer League fans are real thrilled every time we bring this up.
Right.
Billings.
Oh, okay.
We're going alphabetical. Billings.
I was wondering if that's what your game plan was there.
100% is.
Oh my God. Okay.
He's used to me throwing curveballs.
Yeah. All right. So Billings, sure. What necessarily to make of them?
Nothing good.
Billings, starting with the hard-hitting decision-making of alphabetical, I say, well, I mean, if I'm going to give a plus through like 8 games, they're probably the team that is the most improved over what I thought they would be. Ta-da. Okay. The bad news is I didn't think they'd be that good. So that's tough. Currently, did they win tonight? Who's to say? Where's my incognito mode, which is how I have to view the Pioneer League. Not because I'm not trying to get caught by my wife, because it just works weirdly on my computer. Billings tonight, did they get a win? So what? They are at like 8-3 now? Damn, boys, playing some ball. They got a weird collection of guys, if I'm being honest with you. And I'm not 100% sure where they're going with this. And part of the issue is they played Idaho Falls 6 times. They're 6-0 in those games because what we're going to get to is the fact that Idaho Falls sucks at baseball, which is a problem when you're a pro baseball team. In their other 3 games, they are 1-2. Not ideal. So yeah, what to make of it? I mean, their run differential is also 1 million in the past few games. They've just beaten Idaho Falls by combined 30 runs in 3 nights, I think. So yeah, it's going well. If I'm going to shout out a couple guys though, I'll do my best for you. Gary Ostrander is a guy that we're familiar with. And by we, I mean anybody who's in the weeds and should probably at this point be maybe just getting therapy instead of more box scores opened up. But here we are. He last year, he was with Idaho Falls again last year. Wow, time flies. But yeah, he 371, 478, 540 last year, which is funny that that's just a line you can put up in the Pioneer League and you're just right back there the next year. Almost like everything means nothing. But yeah, he's playing ball. He is utility guy. I think he's fun. He's been raking to start the year. Same with Sam Canton. He's a fun guy. And he has, if I remember right, yeah, he already hit 3 home runs. So that's going to be fun. On the pitching side, does anybody pitch in the Pioneer League? Not so far, frankly. I think that who was there? They were, I think Julian Garcia is the guy that they threw as their number 1. I don't know if that's their number 1. If I had to pick who their number 1 was going to be, it wasn't going to be Julian Garcia. Frankly, I couldn't pick a number 1 for them. I have a question mark there, but Julian Garcia wasn't one of the options that I was choosing. And so I don't know what to take from that, but that's who they're relying on. Basically, Billings doesn't have much going. I think they are probably going to beat the teams like Idaho Falls and the other bad teams, and they're going to get beat by the good teams, and that's just where they're going to live. So they're going to have a tough time playing Missoula a whole bunch this year. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to say on Billings because I do think they're going to be like middle of the road and probably the bottom half of middle of the road, if I'm being really uncharitable about it. Didn't they? They did have one pitcher that caught my eye, and I was like, I saw him for his first outing. I was like, yes, I'm smart.
DJ Coyle.
No. Well, I like, was it Ritter Steinman made me laugh because his numbers through 3 1/3 are he's given up 6 earned runs, but he has also struck out 7 guys. So it depends on what you're looking for. Carlos Anziani, that was the guy. He's been dealing. I think he's at 1 earned run through like 10 innings of work. He's been looking really good. Struck out 10 or 12 in that time. So keep an eye on him. He could be legit. He might not be sticking around long if he can like nail down maybe 1 or 2 more good outings. I would be paying attention to him. Anyway, Sorry, that was a mess, but like I have no format. My notes are literally all over the place between a spreadsheet and an actual notepad, like it's 1997. So yeah, it's, we're just going for the ride here, boys.
Boise.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I wrote down two names.
Ooh, look at you.
Jacob Acosta and John
I'm not going to
Cone.
take your people, Acosta and Cone. Feels like
I don't know anything about it. I just remember their names. I think Acosta was with Gary for a little bit last year. I feel like John Cone was at one point an Ogden Raptor.
I mean, if it means anything, I have Boise a game worse than Billings, but guess what, spoiler, it doesn't mean anything. If we're looking, I'm just trying to see if I have anything written down about either of the guys you just name dropped for me before I get too deep into this. John Cone. I think I just said something about where he was, so it's not really what I would call an endorsement. But there he is. Right. Oh, is he Jack Cone? That was literally the note I had.
That could be it. I was going off the roster that was in front of me.
I was like, who's John? Who's like John Cone? I was like, I've been missed Jack on a baseball reference for the past 2 years. Whoopsies. Yeah, he crushed with Ogden and went to Lincoln last year because that's what you do is you do well in the Pioneer League and then you go to Lincoln and then they go, this didn't work. We'll keep you the whole season anyway. And now he's back. Yeah, he could really crush here if I'm being honest because he did the first time. Wait, are we doing John Cone? Hold on.
We're doing Boise.
Different John Cone?
Could be. I don't know.
There's a second John Cone. What's happening? No. They're using. Oh my God.
I am relying on you to know this because I don't know it nor care to learn it.
Dude, he's pitching now. He was a 340 something hitter in the Pioneer League with Ogden. He shows up back up as a pitcher. How badly did Lincoln break you, brother? That's not good. Don't do that. Let the man hit the ball. What are we talking about here? I'm going to have an aneurysm. Oh my God, Boise. Talk about, I want to take your stock down now. Oh, Lord. Okay, refocusing here. What do we have going that isn't a disaster? It's going to make my head explode for Boise. I can find a positive for you. Ready? Let's go with the fact that, I mean, are they holding on against Modesto? Kind of. I'm going to go with, oh God, yeah, there's really nothing. They don't even have power. Like they have 4 home runs so far. That's crazy. That's not enough home runs. 5. I'm sorry, I can't count. 5 home runs if you're Boise is not what you're looking for. But that does go to my theory that they're not as hitter friendly as I thought, whereas most people would think. On the pitching side, can I find a positive for you? Maybe. Who's the other player you named?
Jacob Acosta.
Oh, okay. I actually know that name. Cool.
Yes, a real cat.
Yeah, that, I mean, how else would you know one, if you're kicking around the wilds of the Pioneer League, right?
It probably went poorly for the Americans, and now you're here.
I mean, is he rostered? I don't believe he is.
I was going off of when I went to the website and clicked roster next to the team name.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
that's great. This is going great.
Yeah, I don't think so. Cause I was like, I know him, but I didn't remember him necessarily doing much. Then again, I also remember Jack Cone as a batter. So look, and he was, to be fair, and he should still be. So I'm not going to take heat for that. I just don't know.
In total fairness here,
process is there.
In total fairness, I don't think the Pioneer League teams are updating the rosters that are linked on the website. No. As I also saw Nayan Hernandez on there, who I know just pitched for New Jersey literally Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Look, you don't like that. You just don't like to see that. What else you don't like to see is the fact that this rotation, which is John/Jack Cone, who is, again, a batter, who's one of their top 2.
We are spending way too much time on teams that mean nothing.
I got you. Cameron Dayton, Andrew Baker, Joseph Skepinets, Jacob Hughes. I think all of them are probably 6 ERA and higher guys. So that's the rotation. And, I think it's not going to get much better from there. They have one reliever who I think is interesting, Blake McFadden, but he has a 10 ERA currently. So also maybe he's not interesting and maybe I'm stupid as hell. All is a live possibility. Graham Edwards is good though. I like Graham Edwards for life.
Glacier.
Yeah, that is the pace we're moving at currently, friend.
Yeah.
Glacier, what to make of it? By the way, Graham Edwards should have already been signed, by the way. What the hell is that about? Anyway,
He
pulling
plays
up
in
my
this
Glacier
league. He
note.
ain't getting signed.
I mean, he had a 5 ERA in his first season in the Pioneer. I'm kind of like, damn.
He plays in the Pioneer League. He ain't getting signed. If he does, he'll be back next year. Ask Mark Timmons. Glacier.
Graham Edwards, you are a Lincoln Soft Dog. Hold on. I'm pulling my sheet up here. There we go. They continue to just not hit, but they have a weird ballpark where it's like they actually built it kind of for the altitude, so it's not as ridiculously hitter friendly as the other ones. Fun. Kind of love that. Kitschy. Offensively, Donovan Rattfield is very fun because he's a catcher who rakes, which I am a sucker for. Logan Beard, I think, is going to be good, but also there's some mixed evidence there. But also, I don't know that he's a guy who's like is one to watch leaving the league, if you know what I mean. I think he's just going to be a good Pioneer League hitter, which, God, that sounded disparaging as hell when I said it that way. Yeah, Donovan Rattfield's good. He gets bat the ball. That's all you really need to do against the current Pioneer League pitching crop. But if we're looking at the pitching side of things, for what it's worth, I don't think Glacier is very good. They are 7-1, maybe 8-1. I don't remember what they did tonight, but they are. Oh no, they're going to be 7-2, and I think that is about right for them. So far, they beat Great Falls for 3, and they took 4 out of 5 from Billings, or no, 2 out of 3 from Billings, and then Great Falls again. Neither of those teams is good. Glacier is just doing the thing. I think they're going to get beat when they play real competition. Can I find you a pitcher to watch at least so you can get something to tell your friends when you're at the bar and they're not listening to you? Obviously, so we're talking about Pioneer League pitching. I think I can. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the starting pitching is the thing to watch with this team. It's going to be that. Jake Covey, he's legit. Jonah Giblin, so far so good with him, though I have more concerns with him. Both of them were dealing to start the season, though. So, like, hey, as advertised, that's fun. And technically speaking, I mean, they got 3 guys with a sub-2 ERA in this rotation. I don't expect that to last, though Jake Covey could be kind of that guy. I'm trying to pull the stats from prior here. Of course, now Google also doesn't want to work with me. It seems that
it does not matter. He plays in the Pioneer League.
It does. I mean, look. Yeah. Oh, he went to Concordia. Oh, I have a friend from there. Anyway, yeah, he was fine in college, but I think he'll probably fall into the same trap. You're probably right, but the numbers do like him, and so far he looks good. So, fun. Other than that, yeah, I don't really see much happening here. I think they're going to continue to beat up we're going to learn a lot. They have 3 games coming up against Oakland. I think it might be hell, and then 3 more games against Missoula. I think might be hell. So we could be getting a reality check coming in. You can start the clock for the countdown on that one right about now.
Cool. Great Falls.
I'm like, what team's going to be next? It's alphabetical. I'm stupid as hell. Great Falls, who I think just won tonight, so they moved to 3-6. It is an extremely Great Falls team, if I remember. I'm just trying to pull up what they've done so far. It's been kind of silly, which is again just typical how they do things. Yeah, it's been. They opened with a 14-2 loss, hot start. 13-9, 8-1 loss. Bounce back with a 14-9, 10-7, 16-9. Have they? I mean, this is that team. There is always a Pioneer League team where it's like, well, someone's scoring 10 tonight. It's just going to be Great Falls games. That's exciting. Can I at least get you somebody? So with that said, it's really hard to pick out anybody offensively who's like one to watch because, like, I mean, sure, anybody can put up offense in certain situations, right? Aiden Redahan could be interesting. He's off to a hot start. He hit like, if I remember, he hit like almost 500 in college last season, which is funny. So like, I don't know, maybe. But you know, sure. It's going to be weird. Very quickly, this lineup is just guys who don't really hit the ball. They have 5 legit hitters so far. And that's probably about right. So about half a lineup, which is probably enough to get it done in Great Falls, frankly. So I guess mission accomplished, ? Unfortunately for the pitching staff, I think they have less than half a pitching staff, which is, not what you want. So far the starting rotation, I mean, the scouting didn't have them doing a ton. And so far the early viewing has not done a lot either. Jordan Hamburg has had 2 outings, has gone less than 7 innings total and has an ERA above 17. CJ Sherwinski has an ERA above 14 through 1 outing. Colin Murphy, an ERA over 10 through 1 outing, but he did go 7 innings. So that took 2 outings because he also came in relief. Clutch. So 14 hits in 7 innings probably isn't what you're looking for. So the rotation I would call a work in progress. They have one starter, Sam Lavin. 6 innings, 12 Ks.
That's good.
Get out there, old tungsten arm. We need you again.
Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls sucks at baseball. Did I mention that? I feel like I did. They are not a good team. It is tragic. I'll give you the results in one hot sec because it's been kind of wild and crazy, but they are, I believe, 1-8. So they're tied at the bottom with Rocket Pocket, whatever the hell's. Yeah, dude. It's
more teams, dear God.
It's a desperately bad situation. There was an angle where this team worked. It was like if you get sort of above average production versus projections for the entire pitching staff, pretty much, this team could be nasty. Unfortunately, not happening. They are giving up what can only be described as a zillion runs. Through, I think, 9 games, they have scored 75 runs. Unfortunately, they have allowed, what was the number? It was silly as hell. It was like 120. Like, guys, I need someone to stop runs. Just someone at this point, tackle guys. That's fine. We're in. I'm open to it. Sam Canton is doing numbers because that's what Sam Canton does in this league, apparently. I think he did something silly last year too, like numbers wise. He was at North Dakota State, and no, he wasn't even that good in North Dakota State. I said North Dakota State. I think it was exciting. It's kind of a real college. Man, it's bleak. It is bleak for Idaho Falls. Do we have a single pitcher I can give you to be optimistic about? That's the question here. Or somebody with an ERA sub 10, I'll settle for. Let's see what we can do here, boys. Sub 10 ERAs. Oh, we have one, and it's a starting pitcher. All hail Josh Learson. He's our guy now forever. We love him. Ignore the bottom 8 guys in the pitching staff, 2 of which are starters, and the fact that basically the other starter, who I think might be their number 1, has a 9+ ERA. It doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. Josh Learson, you are a Lincoln Salt Dog. Congratulations. Did he have an interesting backstory? I don't believe he did. Cause he didn't stick out to me. Oh, Williamsport crosscutter last year. Underwhelmed, frankly. So we'll see.
If this is bad, blame me for it, because I gotta be honest with you. If every passing week, I care less about this league. And that's because.
Can we take a second? Yeah. Like, why is that?
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. They can't keep their own house in order. They play at weird hours of the day. I don't care enough to actually find the time to watch them when there's a backlog of other leagues that are easier and more accessible and, quite frankly, have a higher quality of play and are more accessible in person too. Generally too, it just feels like, and I mean this in the context of Indy Ball, they really do scrape the bottom of the barrel when it comes to ownership, which is damn impressive considering some of the real failures that we've seen across the other leagues here. I mean, for Christ's sake, Chicago is a guy that's making interns cry on a routine basis here. And Long Island's bringing in a guy that at best is an ass, at worst is a criminal ass. And like New Jersey can't get more than 500 people in their ballpark at any given time here. And these guys all seem like winners compared to some of the guys that we're pulling into the Pioneer League. They also don't really know what they're doing. And let's be real here. They are a moderate step above the CBL in my eyes, not in terms of play. In terms of the players on the field playing are notably better than the CBL, but the organizational structure of this thing, Jesus Christ, is basically the same. You're led by people with more ambition than actual sense. And the ambition is even well guided. What the hell are we doing here? It's like Oakland's management and like Missoula's management and Glacier's management and maybe like an Ogden or a Billings kind of know what the hell they're doing. Even Billings, I don't feel great about saying know what they're doing. But Jesus, it's just like a parade of people that don't know what they're doing. And it's so difficult for me to begin to try to become invested because of just geographical factors. I do not care about them. And the fact is, And this is the part that's going to be mean, and I hate doing because I hate bagging on the guys themselves. Boys, you're there for the paycheck, and I understand it, and I respect it because that's the best paycheck you're probably going to get in Indy Ball if you're not an Atlantic Leaguer, and even then, playing for Oakland's probably paying you more than playing in the Atlantic League. But like most of these guys, like we don't know who the hell you are, where you come from, and there's a reason why we keep saying, or like, you're going to be a Lincoln Salt Dog. It's because they're notoriously cheap, and they're picking the bottom of the barrel that they can get because they know you'll play cheap for the outside shot of getting signed somewhere. That's why most of them go there. You may get like the top 5% that filter up, but by and large, it's like you're here for the check or you're here because it's the only place you can be. And there's not a lot of upward progression.
Yeah, if I can just add my 2 cents and we'll get right back to the preview.
Yep.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I specifically agree with the ownership issue, which I think isn't discussed enough because one, it's really hard. So there's 2 reasons it's hard to invest in the Pioneer League fully. One is the day to day, which is a lot of the on field, which is just like in any given day. Okay. Let me pull this real quick, right? Let's say Missoula is legit. Oakland's legit. Modesto might be legit. Long Beach might be legit. That's about it. So there are 4 teams that have it together and are playing normal baseball. And if they're not playing each other, it's a farce. The odds are that there are 0 Pioneer League games on any given night that are just good baseball to watch. You might still, and I still find it to be entertaining because it's absolutely insane what happens over there sometimes. And there is some good ball that happens, but like if you're looking for a complete good ball game, it's just really hard to find. And that's not good. I mean, it's like the NBA math of, okay, if 8 teams are tanking and those 8 teams are all playing, different teams, like half the games on the average NBA night has 1 team not trying to win. It's kind of the same math in the Pioneer League, but worse. And it's not they're not trying to win, it's just that they're completely incapable. The other side then is the larger picture because it's like, okay, yeah, but it's going somewhere, right? And I think we see the direction it's moving. It's moving west. But if we're to really like follow this, I mean, okay, Long Beach seems like maybe that has potential. Modesto probably has potential because Modesto really wants to support this thing. But Marysville really wants to support Yuba too, and they're getting like 300 people to show up to these games, maybe. I don't think that's a long-term solution. And meanwhile, even if, okay, the money and the success is out west, one, you still have a travel team out there, so it's going great, I can tell. But on the same end, which again, helping the day-to-day legitimacy, it is not. But at the same time, if we look at what we really love about Indy Ball and the Pioneer League, it is teams like Missoula, even Glacier, even though Glacier's ownership, let's not leave them off the hook too far here. And some of the teams, even Ogden, they're grinding, they're doing what they can, right? These teams, all we see is these cities who are screwed over by affiliates, again, getting double screwed over by the Pioneer League. And like, look, maybe they aren't a market that can support a pro team, but like, we also are aware that the way the Pioneer League bailed on them wasn't great, right? And the NOCO situation is a disaster. Grand Junction's a mess. It's tough to root for the league as it handles the markets they do in the way they do. And also it's hard to root for it where we're looking at, they're building out west, and you look at an organization like Missoula that we have a deep appreciation for and respect for. And we're like, where does this leave Missoula in the future? It seems like you're not interested, frankly, in where it leaves them. You're seeing dollar signs out west. So it's hard for me to even be like, yeah, but they're building something, when that building something, I don't even think it's anything I want to get involved with. So yeah, I see you there.
Honestly, I'd even take that a step further and go, it doesn't feel like they're building anything because they have a vision of like West, screw everybody else. It feels like they were so weakly managed and led by league management and frankly, other ownership management that they got one guy to come in, get a little bit of success, and then they were able to just grab the league by the balls and lead them where they wanted to go. Of course, I'm meaning Oakland, by the way. I'm just going to state outright. Oakland came in with a lot of fanfare, gave them a lot of good positive PR, and I will give them this much. Oakland itself, the individual team of the Ballers, has been a success, despite having a lot of mistakes and a lot of missteps here. let's not forget getting thrown out of Laney College to begin with, because that was a
Mm-hmm.
misstep. And then having to go to Ramundi and do all the work there, and then all the issues with the players in year one, with their stuff getting stolen and all that. They overcame a lot of that. They corrected a lot of those issues, and I will give them a lot of credit for that. And they've had a success on the field both years, especially last year, and they seemingly do try. Now they also are overextending themselves this year because they're in the process of slowly taking over the whole damn league. But to that extent, I will give them credit. Oakland did work. But the fact that you had one ownership group come in and then put down, 4 other teams, at least 2. So they can come in, take charge, and then start calling shots that quickly. First off, that's a middle finger to your Missoulas and Ogdens and everybody else that are like, hey, we were doing well before them. We were kind of like able to kind of do whatever we wanted before them. What's this BS? And it's also, you are really betting on the vision of 2 guys that remember when they first got started going. We were very skeptical of them, given their background. That doesn't just fade away because they had a couple of good years. That background still exists. All of that is still present. And the fact that they now have more authority, and I gotta imagine feel far more empowered to start creating this league in their own image. Well, let's see where this goes first. You mentioned Yuba. They had to leave Davis because that was a train wreck every which way. And Yuba is not really responding in the same manner because it seems like there wasn't an investment and they had to pawn that franchise off on somebody else. Now they've got fingers in Long Beach and Modesto, or is it just Long Beach?
I think Long Beach, I don't know fully who, I can get that for you, but continue.
Yeah. At the very least, Long Beach is there too. So now they're playing again with multiple teams here, and they got to make a decision. Are we going to invest heavier in for Oakland, or are we going to spread it across the board here? And if we're going to spread it across the board here, then what does this end result look like?
Modesto's Main Street Baseball. I should have known that off the top, man.
Okay. So that's just Long Beach.
Which, by the way, is a weird thing, too, because I'm not even sure how Dave Heller and them are an odd thing. So that's a wait and see. He also has Billings, right? And that's
yes, he has Billings. So now we have 2 ownership groups owning 4 of the 12 permanent teams in this league. So great. So 2 people control a third of the league. That's lovely.
Now, so, and my thing too, I mean, we talk about, they're overextending. That ownership group from Oakland, they have 2 teams. They couldn't handle 2 teams before. They only started a second team because they needed a second team out in California to make their Oakland thing happen. Then you're right, they pawned it off because they basically gave no support or infrastructure to YOLO, got beat by them anyway in the championship, hilarious 12th team energy. And then it goes to an ownership who does not seemingly know what they're doing. I mean, I guess they're nice enough or whatever, but I don't know, they don't seem inspired or talented. And now that organization is, drowning. It is not that I don't understand what that's going to do. So again, it's not about even what you do. It's about what you cause to happen. And there's now just that was supposed to be basically, you can call it what it is. It's a placeholder organization, that YOLO team was. Now they didn't phrase it that way because they wanted to sound permanent and get buy-in or whatever. That didn't happen. And then they take they start getting some other California markets. But what do? Because it didn't happen right away. To preserve their Oakland experiment, they had to find another market for YOLO. So they go to Marysville, who had a Pecos team, has had a tough time, won in pro baseball, and they dump this product off to them. I'm like, that's not great for them. It's not great for the long term for the league. Now what is this? It's just some random organization float. Now it makes no sense. That is why I have a hard time buying it. And I know that's not the discussion. This preview is fully taking a weird intermission here, but it's a head scratcher all around. And I'm also going to call BS on them getting 1,000 people at their home opener. By the way, the 289 reported 2 days later feels a little more spot on.
Oh, and all of this, by the way, is just us ignoring everything that happened in Colorado. Which was more than some relocations and foldings, mind you. It was the whole collapse of Windsor and the sport complex and everything that came with that.
Yeah, I would love to do a follow up thing on that one because like, I think that kind of got written up as, oh man, woe is me. These damn owners, right? This eccentric owner with all these failing business projects. When one, the Pioneer League was so aware for so long that this was happening because they had to be, because it was like playing out in public in court. And they just were like, yeah, because that complex was already bailed on by a professional soccer team. They said, we got to get the hell out of here. Like a league was like, we're done with you. We're not getting involved. And the Pioneer League was like, all good here. Nothing to see, folks, playing in a temporary ballpark for like season 4, essentially. And meanwhile, too, they're just keep backing it up. Yeah, that's fine. And then by dragging this out and enabling it by continuing to let this guy operate a team there, they continue to screw the town over. When the town, you could have just put that guy in a tough spot and they could have started to move on and figure out what they're going to do with this land, which has been in this ridiculous process for damn near a decade. So also everybody has their hands dirty on that. That's a mess. Don't think for a second I'm ignoring the Grand Junction ownership situation where he was like, we're here and we're committed to Grand Junction. And then, oh, I'm losing money because I'm bad at this. I need $100,000 or I'm taking my ball and leaving. Then not leaving because, oops, nobody wanted you, stupid. And then, okay, he finally found somewhere he can go. They need a California team and they're all buddies and he works in Hollywood. So like, haha, I got it done. It's great. It's just embarrassing. Like, it's just embarrassing that we're just letting any owner with money do whatever they want and treat people however they want. It's just ridiculous to me, man. I don't know.
And keep in mind, the Pioneer League could have avoided a lot of this by simply just getting rid of one of these teams earlier and bringing Oakland in with them, or moving one of them out to California earlier and ditching the other one with Oakland there too.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a much neater and cleaner way of doing things. But they didn't, because they didn't want anything to dim the light of the announcement, even though you could have done both of them in advance of it.
Yeah, we should never forget that Mike Tollin went from buying Grand Junction, saying how he's excited about Grand Junction as a town, how he's so interested in it personally because of the town, how committed he is to them long term, to demanding money because he lost so much money right away, or also leave, backing out of leaving, and then leaving again in a year. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess by the end of it, he started that process in a year. It was 2 years, start to finish. Like, brother, what?
Oh, and then there's also Rocky Mountain in there too that we're all overlooking, also just up and died because
I don't know what to make of that.
Because the whole way that Colorado Springs was jerked around, going from AAA to low A to independent ball, didn't sit well. And for your first foray into the Pioneer League, you said, what if we just became a minor league team again, but for the Mexican League?
Right.
And then we're shocked when it went badly.
Yeah. And also, I mean, that goes to my bigger theory. I mean, 2 of the worst organizations in the Pioneer League, I mean, was the Rocky Mountain Vibes, RIP, and the Idaho Falls Chuckers, owned by the same group. That's a group of 5 teams. 2 of them were Indy. And oh, what do you know? No, nothing good going on there. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, they also own like a hockey team. Like, I think the lowest priority was the Indy Ball team. So yeah, let's keep making sure we have those owners around. Good job, everybody. It's like, man, anyway, sorry. This is getting to a different rant, but that is just a reminder of refresh now that we have the 3 Pioneer League loyalists really sucked in here of what we're doing here and why we get a little annoyed. And frankly, now I'm not at the point that you are where you're like, I'm close to being done with the Pioneer League. I'm hooked. I'm in. Let's see where this car is going. The brakes ain't working, but you have my attention. That said, I gotta be honest, I'm paying as much attention to the Pioneer League as I am the Pecos League at this point. I'm not sure what that says about either league. Certainly not an endorsement of the Pecos League.
Yeah, I cannot bring myself to begin to care when I know nothing of value is happening over here. And especially when it becomes even a minor inconvenience. You know, I think I would rather just invest what little time I was giving them into the other 3.
We're just drinking.
Might be more productive.
Always an option. Just a live option is just absolutely getting blackout tanked.
Hmm.
And then, you don't have to watch what Idaho Falls pitching staff is doing. It's filling out job applications. That's what they're doing. Anyway, back at it. The Long Beach Coast has actually been pretty good, pleasantly surprised. Talk about a league. I'm glad I didn't publicize projections this year. I took a step back, took some pressure off myself because my projections for this Pioneer League would be a problem. Because what do you even make of new Pioneer League teams? Half of them show up and like simply are learning what baseball is. And then half of them are like Oakland and Yola, where it's like, hey, you don't mind if we just dominate the league for 2 straight years? Like, what is happening here? So I don't know what to make of any of these teams. It seems like California has something in the water, probably toxins, because their land corporations do whatever they want. But that's a different thing entirely. But yeah, the headliner here is the fact that Long Beach just played 6 games against Oakland, took 4 out of 6. So, okay, fun. And if I got to point out to a couple guys, I will definitely do that. I got on the offensive side of the ball, Thomas McCaffrey, Eddie Pelk has been delivering. They also have Kuba Bess, who he's been around. He was with YOLO. I really like him. He's had some really good moments. He also does occasionally fluctuates weird. They do have some exciting guys on Long Beach. They definitely stack this roster to get some people in the door. But Kuba Bess in 2025 crushed with Yuba. That's right. And then Tom McCaffrey, I had a note of him. Oh yeah, he was with Idaho Falls. And yeah, he sucked for 1 season, but that was a short stint. It was really good last year, played like half the year. Yeah, interesting guys. I'm going to literally, as I do this podcast, look up Eddie Pelk because I just wrote his name down and like a projected OPS. And I have no background. He was at Idaho Falls last year, did really, really well, and true to form, went to Lake Country for 12 games and got murked. So, there is a lot of that going on, unfortunately.
Missoula?
By the way, I think I reversed the order on that. He might have actually gone to the American Association first. Anyway, Missoula. Oh, the belle of the ball. They're there. And it's so funny we think of Missoula. It is the sexual harassment meme, by the way. It's a Missoula walking in and it's like, ooh, hi. And then it's Oakland walking in and we're like, oh, HR. Like, it is just, again, because Missoula's been doing it for longer. It is what it is. But and we've been burned too many times before. Missoula started the year by taking 2 out of 3 from Oakland. Does Oakland suck? Start a dialogue. Then they lost 2 out of 3 to Yuba. What does it mean? And then they spent their last 2 nights beating Ogden by a combined 39-7. So, Ogden gonna Ogden and Missoula gonna Missoula. The Pioneer League in a nutshell. Can I give you a couple guys who I think don't suck? I'm sure I can. It's Missoula. They have real players. They are, oh God, lineup wise, I got at least familiar names because people actually choose to come back to Missoula. What a world. Yeah, Tyler Stone. I think Xavier Casaril. Oh no. Didn't write a pronunciation down or anything. Just hung myself out to dry. Emphasis on hung myself. But yeah, he's also good. I'll give it a second shot here. Xavier Casarilla. That's it. It could be a silent. It could be the weird L's back-to-back L thing. I hope not. But Tyler Stone didn't do much in the Big Ten, but he did have a good season in 2024 in the Big Ten playing for Nebraska. So like interesting, could be good. And Enzo Apodaca. Yeah, sorry. The reappearance of one of my favorite baseball names, Enzo Apodaca. Ugh, amazing. I think you might remember him from the Boulders last season. Had a good year, got hosed, ended up in Missoula. I guess that's kind of a good deal, actually. Missoula's not a bad spot to be at. Pitching wise, they got legit guys. They got guys who are going to get shelled. Typical Missoula Pioneer League experience. So far, Ryan Wentz, 12 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 16 strikeouts, straight to jail. This is the Pioneer League. You know the laws. There was one more guy that caught my eye here. Can't read my handwriting. Let's see who it was. Mark Timmons had to be Mark Timmons. I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Mark Timmons was doing Mark Timmons stuff last year. Ryan Wentz, a little more information on him. Looked fine last year, pitched well with Missoula and Boise the year before. Mark Timmons, year 4 with Missoula. Is that right? Jesus, that's a lot. He barely pitched for them last year. I think he had an injury. So anyway, he's back. There you go. Missoula. Missoula also, I do project to have them as, I think, the best team in the league this year. So we'll see.
Oh, Modesto.
Modesto, same conversation as Long Beach. They're good? Question mark. I don't know. They also beat Red Pocket Mobiles for 6 in a row. So maybe they're not because they lost 3 in a row to Boise. So they suck actually. Like this is what we're dealing with in the Pioneer League. Oh God, Red Pocket's so bad. Yeah. So if you're curious, they outscored Red Pocket Mobiles. Should have done this math off the top of my head. 56. They outscored them 65-25 in 6 games. And then they have been, they lost 3 straight to Boise here. All close, to be fair, including a 15-14 football game. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and say Modesto, not that guy, pal. Can I find you some quality players from Modesto? Surely I can. I found a couple from worse teams. Oh God, it's going to take me 2 more clicks and 10 hours of staring at this website, just like wheeling on me. Okay. Offensively, why not? We'll start there. That's where the bright sides are always at. Osiris Johnson. I underlined his name with, additional comment, which I don't think I can say out loud. I can edit it to, that's the type of name of a guy who has a big Johnson, a big Osiris Johnson, maybe. I don't know. I hate myself. Yeah, but he hit under 200 2 seasons ago in high A, so lacking confidence, but hot start so far. Other than that, I don't know, Bryce Cannon's a cool name. I didn't just write down name guys, but, it's kind of tough to figure out what exactly you're looking for on the Modesto roster. I recognize the name Jacob Lajewski. I think I remember him from somewhere else. Where was it? It was, in Toronto system. I think I saw him in a minor league game last year and I was like, interesting. And then, yeah, he didn't do anything, but now he's in Indy Ball, as is the way of the world. Kingston Liniak is there, franchise player. I assume he's 75 years old. He's only played 1 game. That's not an endorsement, but he raked. So I don't know how the franchise players all work for the Pioneer League anymore. I know how it does in theory, but I'm not going to get into it right now because it's in the weeds. But yeah, he's still doing it. On the pitching side, there has to be somebody good, right? Somebody? Anybody? Maybe not, but we're just using the same dudes over and over again. Anthony Diaz is good, like certifiably good. 13, strikeouts. He's made 4 appearances in their first 9 games and pitched 10 innings. Hey, Anthony Diaz, get out of there, buddy. Run far as hell away from there because they are going to just keep using you because you're the only bullpen option they have. I need you to save yourself before it's too late.
What about Oakland?
Yeah, should be good, but definitely not as good as they've been, right? I think, what stood out to me there, Oakland's 3-6 to start the year. I've kind of gone over their losses. Had a bad time with Missoula, had a bad time with Long Beach, which I'm sure they didn't expect. But also I could see them being on the take to make Long Beach look good. No accusations, just facts. And if we're looking at the lineup here, I mean, got some familiar faces. Jake Allgaier's hot in the streets as always. Jeter Ibarra, probably the best defensive Jeter to ever play baseball. What? I said it. Yes, right. Allgaier, that's right. He played really well in Oakland. This is it. It's another one, dude. 860 OPS with Oakland goes to Gary, and it's a sub 200 batting average. Clockwork. What are we doing at this point? Also at 250 in Joliet. Not an endorsement. Jeter Ibarra, though, I do kind of love him. Tremaine Cobb vibes. He's back. That's good. Like, it's good. They're returning key parts of the lineup, but like, I don't know. They're not really building a lot, in my opinion. I think they're believing a lot in some young guys who I'm not sure have a track record that says they're going to be able to do this. The pitching is a concern. They've been a pitching team historically, right? And off the jump, they are allowing, runs, like runs, which is really weird because it's worth mentioning that if they're going to compete for a championship this year, that is not going to fly. They were getting tagged by Missoula, and Missoula seemed like they probably could have done that for days on end in a championship series. So, yeah, they basically have, in my opinion, 1 comfortable starter, maybe 2. Yeah, they're going to figure that one out.
Ogden.
Ogden, I mean, other than I would assume a fat stack of unpaid bills, what do they have? I would say, I mean, pitching is always going to be the struggle there because it's Ogden, clearly. But so far, they started against Boise, which is a tough look, and then they got beat up, as I just told you, by Missoula. It's worth noting, I mean, Eric Sim. Are we going to talk about that? Eric Sim also played for Ogden. I'm lost completely on what he's doing other than playing and being an
He's
influencer.
doing
Sure.
3 pop-up things to influence. It's
Yeah, always an endorsement in the league, boys. Cole Jordan's really good. There you go. That's a lineup piece. And he's been really good, so I don't even have to justify it any further than that, because sometimes I'm like, he's really good. Yeah, he's 1 for his first 20, but he'll be fine, I'm sure. From the rotation, Nico, I can do this. Salta Formaggio is back, and I like him a lot. He's pretty nasty, and he's been pitching well, so that's a vibe. He was with Ogden the past 2 years, and he didn't blow anybody's minds, but last year he was like noticeably better, and now this year he does seem mostly better again. So watch him as like a potential sleeper to make an impact in like the Frontier League later. I do think he's actually a real one. Other than that, oh god, I don't know. Landon Riley is fun and interesting. He is a relief guy. They really like going to him, and they went to him 5 times already. This went to Nolan Ficklin 6 times. Talk about a guy who needs to like blink twice if he's in trouble. The one lefty reliever, they just keep pulling on the pen 6 times in 9 games. Classic Pioneer League action.
Last real team is Yuba.
Yeah, I don't know. They're going the wrong direction for sure. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We act like they weren't good last year. They were fine last year. It's just that they didn't like.
They just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, that's it. And like literally for like 2 weeks against Oakland, that was kind of it. That was the season. Fun. That's a good model. They did just lose to Red Pocket Mobile. So what are we going to make of it? They also lost 2 of 3 to Long Beach. I don't think they're good. I think this is going to be a bad team. I got them. And by that, I mean, they're probably league average, but that's not really going to be competitive. I don't think. I think there's 3 or 4 real teams in this league. Yuba is not going to be one of them. They're going to be just shy of that. If I'm gonna gun to my head, which I think there might be, find a player to tell you about. Let me go into the notes one more time for Yuba. Cause I don't need the notes where we're going next, buddy. Offensively, Josh Duarte is off to a 17 for 33 start. Absolutely hysterical. Jordan Donahue, I think, is also, like, last I checked, done some stupid stuff. So like 3 home runs, 10 hits, and like 24 at-bats. There you go. On the pitching side, do we have anybody? Bueller. I didn't write anybody down, which is not a good sign. Oh, Ryan Velasquez. I did write him down, and he has been delivering so far. I think his first start is why I wrote him down. I cheated. I actually saw him pitch once. I was like, well, this guy seems legit. Easy to say when he's already doing it, dummy. But count it. He pitched for Ogden once before, so we're not completely lost. Riley Egloff, also a potential guy. So they have, I would say, 3 legitimate starters on this team, which is more than Oakland can. So I would bet you at least one of them is pitching for Oakland within the next month and a half.
Then we got the Pocket
Red Pocket Mobiles. Let's see. Cut that ad. It's going to be beautiful. Sponsor me. Red Pocket Mobiles. Okay. Is there a silver lining? They just got a win. So they are now 1-8, which is good for them. Anything in the lineup, anything, anybody, Bueller. We've got Johnny Horvat, which, is that related to the other Horvats? I don't know. There's been a bunch of them. I don't think so. He was with Noco earlier, didn't go well, but he played well in college, so he could be legit. Going to be tough to keep the bus ride momentum going, though. Other than that, Eric Sim has the second best batting average in the team. So that's not great. On the pitching side, anything, I would say if you're going to be making the bus ride work, you're going to need some starting pitching. They don't have it. Chase Martinez seems like a potential legit guy. And by legit, I mean, if he gets off the damn bus, it's going to be tough though for anybody else, in my opinion. It's going to be really brutal. Even their unfortunately, like the guys who miss bats for them, or like get strikeouts, when they don't miss bats, bad things happen, or they just miss the strikes entirely. So they're also a mess. There's not much to tell you about. It is a travel team. It is going to be bad. I think, I don't know. I would say this team might win, 20 games, maybe, if they pick it up a little bit. They had a couple games that weren't total blowouts, so maybe this team could maybe win 20 games. I think it's more likely to win about 18, 17. That's the game we should be playing. How many wins does this sad travel team get? 37 runs in 9 games does not a Pioneer League team make, by the way.
15 wins.
Oh, you're on 15? Man,
15. Their travel team, anyone go will get picked up to a different team in the league.
Yeah, and they're going to just lose momentum pretty consistently. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to age well. I mean, we've seen it go both ways. There are some travel teams that have won slightly more as they kind of just get a rhythm going as the year goes. And they're like, this is what we do.
This is not a Mark Mason travel team. That's 15 wins.
Yeah. No, I like that the Mark Mason team is the example of something that went well. And like the stats would still suggest otherwise.
Like low ceiling, high floor.
6-90 is that last team? 6-90 Empire State.
By comparison.
For them, I think the gift for them is that they're closer to, I mean, Mark went 18-77. That's 18 is where I had them. I think the gift for Red Pocket Mobiles is the fact that the lower teams in their league are closer to them than the lower teams in the Frontier League were to Empire.
Fair.
So there we go. If I had to predict it, I am going Missoula, Oakland, Modesto, Long Beach going to the playoffs. 3 Cali teams and Missoula. Is this the year Missoula gets it done?
No.
I think it is, if I'm honest. I think it is.
All right, sure. Why not?
I mean, screw them.
Okay.
Just at a certain point, I think Missoula is going to be so furious that they just, like, they might be about to lose, but I think they'll probably just kill everybody on the field instead and leave with the trophy, which in my book counts.
I just realized we've been doing this for like 2 hours.
Yeah, buddy. Find your league ball.
I want to go to sleep. You got a plug. Do a plug.
Indy Ball Nation. I don't know what I'm posting this week. This is an ongoing conversation. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Indy Ball Nation, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything else, whatever else, podcast platforms maybe. Who's to say? You.
Cool. Indy Ball Pod, Indy Ball Report. You know the deal. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Don't forget to play ball.